Hi everyone, SpiderMan 1991 here to do my reviews for the week. Okay, Amazing Spider-Man 632, Part 3 of Shed. This has been so far my favorite part of the gauntlet, okay? Now that Billy Connors is dead, Kurt Connors has lost his will to control the lizard body, and now the lizard persona has taken full. And like most reptiles, he sheds his skin into this cool-looking new form. I don't know. I'm not so sure if these spikes coming out of his head are his hair or if they're really just spikes or something. But I don't know. My top theory was that they were hair. Anyways, he also the hair isn't the only thing. He also gains a new power, which allows him to cause people like Spider-Man to give in to some reptilian instincts, and he uses this power to cause riots across Manhattan. Okay, so Amazing Spider-Man 632 is pretty sweet. All right, it's got action and a new villain getting a new power, and the Lizard is always one of my favorite Spider-Man villains because he's really a good, nice guy who doesn't want this to happen, but it's an animal, it's a beast inside him trying to take over, and once Kurt Connors lost his son, he just lost all will to live. Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 37, which pretty much just describes the first meeting between Captain America, Steve Rogers, and Spider-Man. All I can say for this story is that it's pretty... the story itself, though, is pretty lame. As just some time travelers from the future come back to try to kill Sandman because he's going to kill like a third of America. And went too far past the story, but I like the ending though. The ending was my favorite part, where after Captain America sees how Spider-Man's often treated as a criminal, he says, "I'll give you a press conference and explain everything if you want to," but Spidey just says pass and heads off on his own merry way. Excited that he teamed up with one of America's greatest heroes, and Captain America is pleased that while someone can be mistreated by everyone else, maybe there's hope for other people, and he thinks about the Avengers with Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and Hawkeye, all three accused of being criminals who turn out to be valuable members to the team. Oh, forgot about the other story. Sorry. The other story is an untold tale of Spider-Man. Well, it's part of the Untold Tales series where Spider-Man meets a guy named Stan who runs Marvel Comics and offers to give Spider-Man a comic book deal. Unfortunately, Whirlwind attacks, and since Spidey doesn't want to give too much information about himself, how he got his powers, or what he does for a living, he just takes off, and Stan just decides they're still going to run the book, but they have to take information from the news reports. Not too good, but still. The annual isn't essential to any of the gauntlet, but it's still fun stories that fans would enjoy. Now for Fantastic Four 579. This issue is just pretty much Reed Richards shaping up a new generation of scientists, founding the future of science. He goes to a conference and accuses all the scientists about losing their case to discovery and that everyone's afraid of tomorrow, and he tells them he's leaving. And he assembles Alex Power of the Power Pack. Sue gets some kids from old Atlantis. And then there's the mole people from after the Mole Man attacked. And we've got Artie and Bleach plus Valerie Richards, girl genius. And oh yeah, there's another scene where Reed talks to the Wizard about the young clone they've adopted, and he says that he'll prove to him that no matter who you are, he can make a difference and raise this kid not to be a crazy psychopath like him, like the original Wizard. And Reed takes this new team of geniuses and calls it the Future Foundation for Science. Well, just Future Foundation, but still. Fantastic. Pretty much, it seems like each issue is just leading up to this huge thing that's going to happen. Just some big thing that Jonathan Hickman is trying to lead up to with each issue. I mean, what I'm loving about this so far is that you could read one issue and just automatically enter the arc. It's pretty sweet. Time to get some crap out of the way for DC. Teen Titans. I expected, Connor and Bart are back. I would be happy, but all this really is just relationships. I mean, Blue Beetle leaves the team now, and, oh yeah, apparently now there's a rift, and all Beast Boy does in this issue is just focus on Raven, focus on Raven. Remind me again where this idea came from. How exactly did they hook up? Because it was the end of the world. It looked like the end of the world during Infinite Crisis where they decide to kiss, but after that, it's just pretty lame. Plus, now they're trying to drive a wedge between Wonder Girl and Superboy. Really. I gotta admit, that's pretty low, alright? I mean, it turns out Connor and... during the story, it looks like... It does appear, though, that Connor and Aquagirl have something in common, that he flies to clear his head just as she swims. And they seem to be getting along, which Cassie gets a little jealous. Oh, so this has two results, I'm thinking. Connor and Cassie are going to break up, which is going to piss me off. Or else, Wonder Girl gets jealous, and we get a cat fight. Now that will definitely raise the book's ratings if there is a cat fight. Oh, and there's a co-feature with the Coven, but buzz is that it's not too... No one's liking it. Teen Titans, not really enjoyable. I'm hoping that it gets better, but as this goes along, maybe something will happen, but really, just... It's weak. Okay, now to shift DC from crap to awesome. The conclusion to War of the Supermen. Alright. Superman, the planet's New Krypton's been destroyed. General Zod has led his army to Earth, and all that stands between him and global conquest is the Superman family. Alright, now this is cool where Zod just takes a battleship and crushes Superman with it, and he just gets up right back up. I mean, there's tons of action in this book going along, as we've got everyone on Earth, all Earth's heroes fighting a bunch of Kryptonians. The ending, though, is pretty sweet, as, well, it restores the status quo and just something that's not very exciting. It's something that we knew would happen. All that happens, though, is just Connor's going around the Earth with the Phantom Zone projector and sends Zod, Non, Ursa back to the Phantom Zone. And Chris Kent is staying in the Phantom Zone, bonded with the Nightwing to serve as the jailer. And Mono is sent, and all that this really does is just restore the status quo. But the speeches towards the end with Lois Lane's article at the end is just very well written, and it's quite moving. What else do I have to say? Oh yeah, now I don't really want to. About what happens to Guardian, I don't want to get into it because there's kind of a spoiler there for Mono. But all that really ends is just it's back to the status quo. Superman and Lois have a sort of happy ending. General Lane is dead. Oh damn! I just gave away a huge spoiler. Okay, everyone, just alright, forget that or something. But also, Mono and Christopher Kent is back to being a 10-year-old, and he and Mono are now the challengers of the Phantom Zone. War of the Superman was an awesome miniseries, and I'm glad that the status quo is back to normal. So, if you haven't read Superman in a while, you can wait till next month, till the next issues come out, and just jump right back into it. Okay, I'm reaching 9 minutes here, so I'm gonna end this video right now. Stay tuned for more.